Guys, we just finished a Rogue episode with my friend Nick Schiffer from NS Builders. Nick, you are killing it, man. These jobs are incredible that we got to walk. Make sure you check out those other episodes. But I thought as we walked back to the truck, you know, we're parked 3 blocks away here in Boston. We'd take a minute and tell people about your social media.
Sure.
And kind of how you found your success, and maybe share some of your tips.
Absolutely.
Out there that other builders, remodelers, architects could use to help grow their businesses.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should we walk and talk?
Absolutely. Let's go.
All right, let's do it. So, Nick, first thing I was thinking about was just kind of the why. You know, why do you do it? Have you found social media helpful? Instagram is really kind of your original platform that you saw giant success on.
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing with me is, let's step way back, right? When I first started on Instagram, I think I did it for the same reason, is that I was passionate about my work, and I wanted to share my passion and just kind of gain some buzz around, I'm starting my business. Is anyone in the need for some carpentry?
Yeah.
And
huge.
It quickly...
How long ago was that?
You know what? Everyone asks me that, and it's probably 2 years, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit more, a little less, somewhere around the 2-year mark.
Yep. But you'd been a carpenter prior to that.
Oh, since I was a child.
Yeah.
Very, very early on, and I sold my first job when I was about 14 or 15 years old to my art teacher, so it snowballed from there for sure.
You told me that story the other day about how you sold her a shed.
Yeah. It took me 3 weeks to build with hand tools, but...
That's so awesome.
Yeah, really, Instagram... I started gaining traction when, designers and architects and local people were reaching out to me saying, hey, I follow you on Instagram. And what I did is I started realizing, hey, if I put a little bit more effort into this, then I could use this as a marketing platform.
Yep.
And we're going to go right here.
Okay.
And really, what I mean by effort is that I was going to start focusing on, all right, the content I put out and how often I put out the content.
Yep.
And, not a schedule, but how, the frequency. Am I doing it in the morning?
Yeah.
So, a tip there would be, biggest thing is consistency. And I talk about this all the time, right? Consistency is key. And for me, I'm doing 3 to 4 posts a day.
Yep.
On average. There's days I may do 2 or 1.
Yeah.
But on average, it's 3 to 4. And what that does is that allows me to stay in people's feed. And they're seeing my content all the time.
That's right.
And beyond that, you need to have decent content.
And let me back up one quick second.
Yeah.
As you were kind of starting your business and thinking about marketing through social media, what was it about Instagram that kind of captured your attention, or that got you think this is really where I'm going to spend?
Well, it's very
more of
visually
my
based.
time? Yeah.
It's very visually based. And, the decision maker in a home is typically a woman.
Yeah.
And they're...
and architects and designers are visually based.
Right. And
they want to see your work.
Exactly. And people want to see the product that you produce. And a lot of times people want to see it before they buy it.
Yeah, for sure.
So if I'm constantly promoting it and people are able to see...
You can go this way?
Am I on the right street? Nope.
No, we still got to go. We got to get by that church.
Thanks for letting me know where we're going.
My keen sense of direction as a Texan is helping me here in Boston.
But yeah, it was really because of the visualness of it, and
Yeah.
I was able to share a picture, and then I could, share a small backstory on it.
Yeah.
This is the how, this is the why.
Man, and you're so good at your passion comes through, your desire for excellence and doing it right. That comes through so easily in your stories and your photos that you can see why people would want to hire you. And when you were new to social media, did you find that it grew really quickly, or was it still beneficial to you when you had 500 followers, let's say, or 300 followers, like a quote-unquote normal person would have?
Right, and a lot of people ask that, or they fixate on the how many likes or how many followers.
Yep.
But to be honest, I saw success in it very early on, and before maybe 1,000 followers.
Yeah.
And the follower count didn't really matter, because what I quickly realized is that rather than how many followers, it was the quality of the followers.
Yeah.
And if you're engaging with your audience, your quality is going to naturally be higher because they want to engage with you.
Yep.
So, a tip there would be to not so much focus on how many followers you have, but what you can provide for them.
Yeah.
And if you're providing information for them, they're going to become a quality audience.
Yeah, for sure. Now my audience is totally different. I'm a YouTube guy. Been on it for a long time, and I grew very slowly. Been on YouTube since 2008.
Sure.
And now I've got numbers that are similar to yours on Instagram after you've been on it just for 2 or 3 years. Now I think that speaks to the quality and the dedication you have to posting regular content, where I'm really was very scattered for a long time. It's only been in the recent past that I'm publishing 2 to 3 videos every
But you're
week
seeing,
now.
but you're seeing your growth change.
Yeah, for sure.
And you're seeing a more steady growth and
Yep.
a more almost controlled growth.
Yeah.
And that's that's something that a lot of people lose sight in. That hey, I'll post every single day, and then they're not gaining the followers or they're not gaining the engagement that they want,
Yep.
and they quit.
Yeah.
It's like, well, maybe you haven't done it long enough. You're talking to that point right now. Is that you've done it for a long time.
Almost 10 years now.
You experimented with, I'm sure,
All kinds of things, yeah.
Right.
I did Facebook for a while and didn't find that particularly good for my business.
Right.
But the thing that we talked about the other day on this topic was very early on, you and I would go to meetings and people would feel like they knew you. There was a comfort level.
Right.
Because they'd seen a video, they'd seen your social profile. They knew already you were a man of integrity. And frankly, they knew that they liked you and your personality.
Right.
So when you came for an early interview for a client, there was a little less of, do I like this guy? What is this guy all about? Because they'd already seen you.
Of course. I mean, I can speak to many, situations where I've showed up at a front door and I've opened the door and they're like, "Hey, Nick," and I've never met them, but
Right.
maybe they follow my
They
stories.
feel like they know you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Which is huge. I mean,
Of course.
that's really the
even-
why of this whole process we're talking about.
even outside of business, I mean, let's talk about your personal life. When you get hooked up on a date, the first thing you're going to do is, are they on Facebook or can I Google
Right.
search them?
Totally.
But that's just because information is so readily
I'm gonna switch that to you.
yeah
Readily available.
Yeah, readily available. Why wouldn't you? So they're going to
Yeah.
do the same thing for a business or a brand. They want to hear that reputation or see that reputation.
I gotta stop for 2 seconds.
Sure.
Look how gorgeous these buildings are. I'm sorry interrupting his train of thought, but look at this, man. This is where Nick is building and remodeling, is these incredible 100-year-old houses that just some incredible craftsmen built these houses. What a privilege to work in this area, Nick.
It is. It's super fun, and it poses its challenges for sure, but at the end of the project is always the best for multiple reasons. But to see that you were able to restore something, or you were able to keep something intact but make it better.
Yeah,
Incredible. It's super gratifying.
So let's transition for a minute. We talked about the why. I think there's so many why reasons. Give me a couple tips on the how of if you got a builder friend that's in another town, is interested in starting some social media for their marketing of their company. Can you give them some tips?
I mean, going back to consistency is going to be your number one concern, and not giving up when you're a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months into it, thinking that you're not gaining traction. I'm only gaining 50 followers a day, or it doesn't matter.
Or 50 a month, for that matter.
And because that 50, that it only takes one person in that 50 to change. Like, hey, maybe it's a rock star client that follows you and is like, hey, I really like what you do. Here's a job. Yeah.
Or in my case, a designer, an architect who likes you, who recommends you to multiple jobs.
I mean,
that was huge for me, is I would get architects who followed me. And when I had 300 subscribers on YouTube, that was hugely beneficial to me as a young company, because I had 1 or 2 architects on there that felt like, oh, Matt's doing good work, I should refer him.
And I'm sure you were in the same boat. You'd get a recommendation, you'd get a call, hey, so-and-so recommended you.
Yep.
And you have to backtrack, like, did I meet them?
Yeah, exactly.
Do I actually know them? Do they know me through YouTube, Instagram? And that, I mean, so the how is consistency and the willingness and the effort to put into it.
Yeah.
And then beyond that, concentrating on your brand and your content.
Yep.
And if you want to be known as the guy that is grumpy every day, then make your stories about how you're pissed off every day.
That's right.
If you want to be the guy that's super in a good mood, he loves his job, be that guy in the story. Yeah. And same thing with your content, whether it's videos or photos. Just be consistent. Your
brand, if I could jump in here, is integrity and craftsmanship and passion. You work hard every day. People realize that you're up early and you're working late. And I've seen lots of videos of you walking down the street at 4:30 in the morning on the way to work.
Yeah.
You're a hard worker, man, and your brand is hard work, integrity, and craftsmanship.
Yeah,
and mine, a lot of times, is that integrity and craftsmanship, but I also get the nerdiness, and that's always been my thing. You know, I talk about the super geeky stuff on my videos, and R values and U factors and the efficiency of this or that. So find what's passionate for you as a builder remodeler and make that your thing.
Absolutely. I mean, consistency and really narrowing down your brand and what you're going to produce for content. People are going to, when they can relate to you, they're going to naturally want to work with you.
Yeah. Nick, you're awesome, man. From the streets of Boston, my friend Nick from NS Builders. Last tip for you, go follow some people on social media that are doing it well, and Nick is one that I'd highly recommend. It's at NS Builders on Instagram.
It is, yep.
I'll put a link to his YouTube channel and his Instagram down below in the description, as well as what other media platforms are you on?
Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and then of course the website, designbuildrepeat.com. So.
Yeah, and you know, a couple builder buddies of Nick got together, Nick and a couple other builder friends, and they're doing an incredible podcast, The Modern Craftsman.
Yeah, so Johnny,
go follow those guys.
Johnny, Tyler, and myself. So we're really going to focus on, you know, the overall craft and bringing the level of quality and craftsmanship back up to where it should be.
And if you're a manufacturer watching this, I'm going to give a quick plug. They're going to be looking for sponsors for that podcast soon. These guys are doing an incredible job. They're going to be juggernauts. They're going to far surpass anything that I've done. And I'm excited to be a friend of you during this successful time, man, because you're going to keep climbing and rising. And I'm going to see you speaking at national conferences before too long, doing keynotes.
Yeah, thank you very much, man.
Nick, thanks for having me, man. From the streets of Boston and NS Builders, we'll see you next time on The Rogue Show.
See you guys.